Bet365, the action never stops. Our soccer early payout is now available on multis. Simply place a pre-match bet on the full-time result. If your team leads by 2 goals at any stage, we'll settle your bet as a winner, even if your team fails to win. We're the world's favourite betting company for many reasons. Our early payout is just one of them. Gamble responsibly.
Easter's coming up. Now is the time to start planning those projects. Planning makes the job so much easier. Being able to step it out, get a plan together so you know exactly what your end goal is going to be.
Just come into store, tell us what you need, tell us what you're thinking, and we can help you make a massive difference to your home, however big or small the project is.
So once you've got your plans all organised and you know what you want to do, come into Bunnings and we'll help you make it happen.
So what's your Easter project plan?
Bunnings Warehouse.
Shop at Bunnings wherever you are, whenever you want.
New James Squire Broken Shackles Refreshing Lager.
Dreams. They're the reason we work hard. But without the right super fund, our dreams often remain just that. At Sun Super, your retirement dreams aren't a promise. They're our purpose. A fund that works for you, not shareholders. With a history of strong, long-term returns and the tools and advice to help you take charge today to make your dreams possible tomorrow. Sun Super, what dreams are made of.
New Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross with 10 years warranty and 10 years capped price servicing. It's here now for wherever next.
At Bet365, we're always innovating, creating. It's this constant pursuit of perfection that brought you Bet Builder, Match Live, alerts, and live streaming. It's the reason we're the world's favorite online betting company.
Gamble responsibly.
Ball's coming down. Here's Lomax.
This is it. 3 defenders to beat. Less than a second to react. Impossible. Or is it?
Wow, you won't see a more incredible piece of brilliance.
It's then we realise the game has never finished amazing us. The NRL Telstra Premiership. Defy impossible.
Have you seen my phone?
Sorry, Kath, but entertainment never sleeps.
Where is he? Where's my ball? Oh, what are you doing?
Animals. You see, with Foxtel Go, I can watch from anywhere. At work, on the bus, even in a birdcage. Foxtel Go. Be included with your Foxtel subscription.
Welcome back. Perth Glory with the lead at half-time. Sydney FC with certainly the greater chances in that particular half of football. Liam Reddy, 6 saves for the veteran. Heavily involved, and happily for Glory, they've kept the clean sheet. Hasn't happened so far this season for the entirety of the game. They're halfway there, but I'll have to change a few things you'd imagine ahead of this second half. Sydney FC are out there way before time, and Perth Glory are making their way out right now, I think. As Milos Ninkovic copped an early knock, but happily he goes on in this one. And Perth have just decided to stay in the sheds, actually. No sign of them, so Sydney could just kick off by themselves here. They're careful. Andy Keogh, will see Keogh in this second half. He's the leading scorer for Perth Glory in A-League history, 55 goals, but not scored in 11. Go back to April 2019. Of course, he's had a spell overseas in between that point and this season. April 2019 was the last goal he scored for the club. Last regular season game of that season in which they made the grand final. Castro and Perth coming out now. And No substitutes. We learn from the sideline for either side. We're going to hear from Richard Garcia shortly. They get fined, teams, if they don't kick off on time. I think a little missive might be fired up. But now that the leagues control the clubs, they're just essentially finding themselves. Anyway, it's one of life's unanswerables. Bruno Fornaroli, magnificent scoring form at this ground. That's his 69th goal for Perth Glory. Happy one. And having a look at Robbie Slater at this run, just keep an eye on Bruno Fornaroli. He's kind of taken by this run. He starts way over on the left, decides that there's way too many bodies over on that side, so just like any striker does, just stays active in the box.
And just gambles a bit where that ball might end up. Too many bodies to go centrally, so there's no one at the back post. He's just used to doing it. That's what strikers do.
The number of goals good strikers score because they're the most active in the box is quite remarkable. And we're not going to hear from Richard Garcia, unfortunately, but ahead of the second half, but we are going to see some more football. The second half finally underway at HBF Park. Goes back to Latchman, who goes forward straight away. See if there's adjustments tactically for either side to quell one way or another. Aspro goes into the book inside the first 15 seconds of the second half for holding back Bobo. Richard Garcia is finally out of the sheds. Richard, it was a long old message because you were laid out. What was the message to your side? Great on the scoreboard, but how do you stop all these chances for Sydney?
Look, I think we just got to keep being resilient and keeping our discipline in defence.
How was it for your side trying to play out through this Sydney block when you guys were playing out from Liam and the back two?
Look, they made it difficult, but we went long, and I thought we picked up the seconds quite well and created attacks from there. No worries. Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Richard. Thanks, guys. Appreciate his time when the game's underway, Richard Garcia. There's a lot of instruction given at that half-time break because it's not exactly a warm evening in Perth, so it's not as if they were physically taxed. Heavily Perth Glory. It's a good cutout from Rawlins. Malik, that second pass, the second and third pass, when they do win it back, Perth Glory hasn't quite stuck for the majority of this game. Seris, is Ivanovic offside? No. Just got back onside in front of Latchman. Otter for company now, all the way back to Ryan Grant.
Yeah, look, I'm sure Richard Garcia talked to his team about keeping possession and, more intensity, and would have been delighted with the score, but I'm sure he would have said something along the lines, I'll wait here.
Ninkovic doesn't quite fall first time. Great idea from Bobo to find him. Castro, it's adventurous inside box, not getting it away straight away, but they play out through Steins and young Bramwell, the 19-year-old, offered the ball at feet for the first time this game. It's a lovely ball, looking ball out to Fornaroli, but Redmayne springs to action.
Read that perfectly, yeah. So going back, and again, another chance is that ball just wouldn't drop for Ninkovic, but that's where they haven't been able to make the most of those dangerous situations inside the box. But I'm sure Richard Garcia at some point said, look, you can't play like that for another 45 minutes and expect to win this football match. And you just saw there with Bramwell, they can hit you on the break. They've got that quality to conjure a goal at any time, as we saw at the end of the first half, taking the lead. So, Sydney, Perth just keep this scoreline for as long as possible. Sydney are going to have to pour forward, and that's going to maybe open them up at the back for the counter.
It's what's both wonderful and a little unfair about football, but life's unfair and wonderful, that when you're so heavily on top, you can have one little moment that takes it all away. Here's Otter. And Castro looking for this second moment, Perth. Fornaroli away from the 6-yard box. Out to Rawlins. Early cross. Redmayne out. Stretching for that. Castro was waiting. Seris, a little flick on for himself. Ivanovic, he'll do well here to hang on to possession. Does well. back to Bratton. Steins gets in the way, but can't quite react quick enough. Nikovic in front of him. Yeah, back to that bit about football that when all seems hopeless, one little moment can turn things around really quickly. That's why we love the sport, Robbie. Don't agree? Here's Grant.
Of course I agree.
Thank you. Hanovich looked like it hit his hand on the way down. Anyway, it's out with Kilkenny and Steins. Otter, side to side for Perth. And they're out through Rawlins. Castro scoops it over to Rawlins. Back he goes to Malik, the new dad. Kilkenny, clever ball back from Malik. Castro, this is better from Perth. Bratton does a good job on Castro to force him backwards. Doesn't allow to face forward until that moment to Kilkenny.
Well, in respect to keeping the ball, this is probably their best possession.
Steins tries the trick. He gets away with it because it came back off Grant. To Bramwell. He's looking for Fornaroli. Better from Perth. I mean, what does it do to you psychologically, Robbie? You've been in that position, given the amount of games that you played in your career, where you dominate, just dominate, and then have the stuffing taken out of you just before you sit down to talk about it all.
Well, that's exactly what it feels like. You think, oh, really? And that's how you feel walking into the dressing room, and then it's up. You know, I'm sure Steve Corica did, is to pick them up and off you go again.
Grant in retro. Caceres.
He's well offside, isn't it?
Bobo looks about 5 metres offside. Didn't keep it in anyway, but I don't know why the flag just doesn't go straight up there. There's drive a bus through the width that was between Bobo and the second last Perth Glory player. Hasn't had much to do in this opening 6 minutes, Liam Reddy, compared to the opening 42 minutes or so before Perth scored that goal.
And of course, for the opposing side, when you get a goal like that and you haven't been in the contest the way the way it panned out in that first half, it does exactly the opposite.
Great challenge from Malik to steal it off Ninkovic. Goes behind Bramwell, not in front, so that stopped the momentum. Steins thinking about the cross, but chops it back to Rawlins. Kilkenny eventually finds Rawlins, cutting back, perhaps to Bramwell. Castro was waiting too. Opportunity brewing here for Perth. A much better start to this half. Kilkenny looking for Fornaroli. Didn't have the purchase on it. And Fornaroli wins the throw-in off Grant. Hint of a handball, but still, what he did after it was pretty special, and it nearly worked out, that back heel. Still the owner of one of the most outrageous pieces of skill in A-League history when he was playing for Melbourne City in a Melbourne derby, Bruno Fornaroli. The Rabona through ball and then scored with the little dink. One of the most outrageous goals in the history of this competition. Sydney still looking to settle in the second half through Joel King. Retray. close. For Rattray, who continued his forward run. Ninkovic. Ninkovic twisting and turning back to Rattray. Looks up. A bit on at that cross. I don't know if it would have found anyone. It's a bit of normal service resumed with Sydney in control of the ball like it was in the first half until Joel King got it all wrong on that left side right there. Bramwell can't find Fornaroli.
Yeah, similar in possession, but they're not finding the spacing between the lines as they were in that first half.
Yeah, it was all clogged right there. There's a good case in point, to your point, Robbie, for Caceres right there. Was looked up and no way through. Pretty hard to stay that discipline though for 45 minutes if it's going to settle into this particular rhythm as Castro looks to get things going for Perth. Castro, just his second assist of the season. He scored 48 goals for Glory. He's just too shy of that 50 mark behind Andy Keogh on 55.
Never scored against Sydney.
That is remarkable.
Only 2 A-League clubs, the other one being Western United.
They've had a tough time of it, Perth Glory, against Sydney FC. Just that one win in their last 15. There was the famous case of when Graham Arnold decided to ride up 6-0 before a game against Perth Glory, and that's exactly what the scoreline ended up. The old football stadium. Here's King. He makes something of this foray forward, but it's out for a corner. Bratton will take it. Looks like there's changes on the way for Sydney FC. Robbie Stanton, the assistant coach, is up and about, yelling out to where they're warming up. Fornaroli is the one to clear for Perth. Doesn't quite get the corners right tonight. Bratton, it's all very loose. And it's a penalty out of nothing. Babo's won a penalty.
Literally out of nothing. Completely unnecessary. It wasn't a great cross in. Babo sort of motioned towards it, and I'm not sure who it was.
Aussie Malik.
It's Aussie Malik. And he doesn't get any connection on the ball, and he just kicks the back of Bobo's calf. Completely unnecessary. There we see it. He's given the referee no other option.
He's pointed straight at the ball, which sometimes is an indication.
No, he's kicked the back of the leg.
No, but
taking all the pace off the ball.
I didn't get it.
Look, if I'm a Perth player, I'm exactly the same. I'm thinking, really? But he's kicked him.
It's just so needless.
It was absolutely needless.
He wasn't scoring unless he just juggled it all of a sudden and turned and shot. But he's going to take the penalty.
There was no chance.
Babo, so 13 penalties taken in A-League football. Babo scored all but one of them. Steve McGarry, the assistant to Richard Garcia, having a chat to Shane Skinner, Principal Skinner there on the fourth official duties tonight.
That's the VAR checking, okay.
For offside in the lead-up, we're hearing.
Here we go. This could be interesting.
So if it is offside, it's
no penalty.
All bets are off. And they're going to rule that he is offside, I reckon, if that red line is in front of the blue one.
Yeah. That's going to be offside.
Overturn. He is offside. No penalty. So Babo won't get a chance to slot home the penalty he thought he won. Aussie Malik.
Very relieved.
Isn't he what? So after all of that, the only thing we're left with is a Perth Glory free kick and a bruise on the ankle of Babo. Luka Ivanovic, he will come off for Patrick Wood, like for like. Just a striker who's going to give a lot of energy. And Paddy Wood, he has been in goal-scoring touch this season. His first full season with the A-League squad. 3 goals so far. Dane Ingham is coming on. Daniel Steins, who walks off thinking that was just a game where I barely got a touch of the ball. I just ran, tried to win it back. A lot of energy expended. So here is the offside.
It just shows you how it's changed now. That players, before the VAR, you think you've got yourself back into an offside position, but in reality you haven't by, what do we call it, millimetres, centimetres?
I guess so. Ryan Grant trying to zip one into Rebo, rattles into Aspro, and again it's a calibration done by VAR before the game. They take a big shot of the ground, and it's all the lines drawn over it, and it's just not like Mr. Squiggle on the lines. It's a mathematical equation, Robbie. It's physics and all those things you didn't pay attention to in school. Well, I certainly didn't.
I was quite good at that.
Oh, were you? Geometry? You need to be these days in football.
It's annoying.
Wood just overrunning that one from Grant. You can hear the instruction given by teammates that it was on, and Castro doesn't get that right with Fornaroli. Paolo Retro to King. With half an hour to find their own equation here, Sydney FC. All the defending that Perth done. Richard Garcia is going to need to get his substitutions, you'd imagine, bang on here. Mentally exhausting, just running around after the ball, which Perth have done for the majority of this contest, and they're going to have to do it again as that clearance goes straight to Alex Wilkinson. To Saris, on to Wood. Rides one challenge. He can bring in Grant here, flicks it on to him. The cross is dangerous. Babo, good save, ready again.
That's what he needs, Babo. If you're going to have him in there, you've got to get service into him. Free header. Good, decent power in it, and it's a flying save again from Liam Reddy. Punches that one, and Reddy's going the right way already. Good save.
Bratton's corner is a good one. Just helped on by a Glory defender out to Retro. Ninkovic. Rawlins to be on his game here. Does well, the 16-year-old. Babo this time again ready.
He's got that look in his eye, Liam Reddy, hasn't he? I mean, this one was more regulation. It's a good header, just helps it on. Babo looking for that far right-hand corner, but it goes fairly central, but comes at him quick, tips it over the bar.
Bratton, good corner, helped on by Rawlins, out to Retro, still on here for Sydney. Can't find Grant. It's Bruno Fornaroli back there. Ninkovic over to Wilkinson, flipped over. Babo smashes it home. I don't think there's any doubt about that one. And Sydney finally have the equaliser.
Well, that is as clinical a finish as you'll ever see. That flash pass ready. On the volley, swivelling onto it. It's quite a scruffy goal from Perth Glory in a defensive sense. Second phase of a corner. They had a couple in a row. The two last corners were really good deliveries from Bratton. And we'll look at the first two saves, which led to the goal. All from Bobo. First header from Bobo, good save there. This one's a little bit more regulation. Bobo helping this one on, tips it over the bar. And this is the second phase from the third corner. Wilkinson gets up first, and he's onto that on a flash.
Yeah.
But Sydney winning all the headers in where it mattered.
And Bobo, his 45th goal in the A-League, his second spell at Sydney FC, and just loves scoring against Perth Glory. That's his 10th in his 8th game, and he's looking to keep his 100% record up against this particular opposition. 7 from 7 so far against Glory. He's given his side a big chance of making it, personally, for him, 8 from 8. Only Alex Brosk has scored more goals than the Brazilian. It's Fornaroli looking for a foul, too much in it. McGowan saying, well, how about a card for the dive? McGowan not interested in that as play goes on through Ryan Grant. Wood. Close attention paid by Latchman. Castro. Beautiful ball into Bramwell. Fornaroli, bit of space here for Castro. Danger. They're going to allow that. And that perhaps is the most un-Diego Castro thing I've ever seen on a football pitch.
I think it was just too easy, the ball. He was just taking his eye off it.
Even geniuses get it wrong from time to time. Wilkinson. Pressured and nowhere to go there. So they got that one right, Perth, without the ball. Back to Redmayne. Statistical adjustment. I mentioned at half-time Reddy had made 6 saves. It was actually 5, so he's up to 7 now. Crucially, the last chance that Sydney had on goal got past Liam Reddy finally and has us back at 1-1. King. It's a good ball because it opens up the pitch for Caceres. Look at how imbalanced Perth are. All the defenders on that left side. Wood has a go, but Reddy's in the way. It was missing anyway.
Yeah, and that run from Paddy Wood, and that's just experience. As Caceres is bombing down, Paddy Wood actually came into the space that Ryan Grant was bombing into. That's where he's got to get himself into the box. And he ends up getting a shot from a really difficult angle. But the better situation brewing there before Paddy Wood ran into that space was Ryan Grant looming on the outside. Caceres would have laid him, he would have been bearing down on that byline about 6 or 7 metres from the near post.
Happy to sit back beyond halfway here, Sydney, and just let Perth figure it out for themselves. Kilkenny. Looking for an option and finding one in Bramwell, who tries to slide in Ingham. Far off their Glory, and King just hoofs it clear up to Bobo. A fair old tangle with Aspro. Quick throw in. Castro. Again, he's electing to zip one across. There was no one, I think he was looking for the cutback, someone to come back on the penalty spot, but in the end he just had to try and roll it across the front line.
He was trying to do from the other side what he did on the left-hand side on the stroke of half-time. Bramwell was an option for maybe just as he entered into the penalty box there, but Sydney smothered it. Someone should have pulled off to the penalty spot there to give another option.
In swinger coming from Otter. The Japanese international left-back, bodies down in the box. It's Ninkovic who went flying. Go again from the corner. Glory. Otter again. Sorting themselves out there and in the box. Short corner, Castro, back to Rawlins, and Otter, his cross, Bramwell just over his head, the young man. What a moment that would have been.
Yeah, it's a good chance. Is it over his head to get up maybe a little bit early? That's a great ball. Yeah, it's over his head. It's not a miss, but it was a nearly thing, wasn't it? He was there in the right position. If it was a little bit flatter, he'd got something on that. That was going to flash in to the far side of the net.
He's got that quality, Otto, with his delivery. It's a wicked left foot he's got. Just hasn't been able to show it too much tonight, given how Sydney have...
Yeah, but Perth have been better in the second half. There's no doubt about that.
Ninkovic get on the other side. Vingham, who does well. Grant, Caceres. Move the ball well up the pitch here, Sydney. Caceres takes Kilkenny on. Otter gets in the way. Castro, you feel he's looking for a free kick here. He's corralled by Bratton. Lovely skill. Gets it out to Grant. Rattray dwelt for a second when Ninkovic was waiting for the quick ball. McGowan. Out to Grant. Ninkovic. Ron Grant operating as an attacking midfielder at the moment.
Oh, look how deep Perth are. There's a lot of bodies there. Needs a bit of width.
Grant, Caceres to an advanced position. Grant trying to guide that to Bobo. And flicking over his head was Ingham, straight to King. Ninkovic, quick feet, nimble feet. Got to be careful here, Glory. Rattray has a ping. Hits the post. Had Reddy scrambling for it, and fortunately for Glory and their heavily involved shot stopper, it goes to safety.
Well, did Reddy get it, or did it hit the post? But it made just a half-yard wicked deflection. And the ball's spinning, and I think he gets a touch to it.
Touch and post, or
touch
just
and
touch?
Post, maybe. Let's have a look.
No, that's him. All him.
That's a great save. That's,
Sorry,
that's sneaking in.
Bratton's corner. Over the top from McGowan. It was a flick on. Again, Glory riding their luck a little. Especially when the ball's in the air.
And I think Bramwell does well there. Just to put enough pressure on McGowan so he can't control his header. Andy Keogh about to enter. Looking for a goal, hasn't scored in 11.
Here's a chance for Sydney. They've coughed it up. Glory, Rattray has a ping. We're hearing that Kieran Bramwell is going to make way for Andy Keogh. Provide some much-needed energy, an infusion of energy that Glory need, because they've done a lot of running without the ball, and mentally, as much as anything, it's can be a tad difficult as the game enters its final quarter. Bramwell does well. Might be his last action of the game if the ball goes out soon, but it's an important intervention because it sends Sydney all the way back to halfway. King skips past Castro. They're a bit loose here, haven't organised themselves. Glory, Grant, his cross can't get past Bramwell, who again is defending as time runs out on his evening. Fornaroli surely wins a foul off Ninkovic. Two buddies collide there, and now it's going to see the entrance of Andy Keogh. Needed substitution, Robbie?
Yeah, look, not a bad play to bring off the bench, is it? But Bramwell's last three efforts were all defensive, but they were much needed. Tough game to debut in respect to that first half for him, because Perth really didn't have much of the ball, but a great moment for him.
Nice words of encouragement, I dare say, from Richard Garcia. So great to see another Australian teenager get a starting debut this season in the A-League. Young players who are Olyroos eligible. It's just remarkable how many have got game time this season, started games, and he's the latest to start a game. So well done to the 19-year-old lifelong Perth Glory fan. Woods, and they get the handball decision there. Otter getting it in the way. Kosuke Ota, a former teammate of Alex Brosk in Japanese football at Shimizu. Also, Mitch Langrak at Nagoya. Mitch Langrak's in fantastic form, putting pressure on Matt Ryan as the #1 option for Graham Arnold when the Socceroos eventually get to play a game of football again. Ball into Caceres. To Wood. And Grant. Rattray. It's Andy Keogh back there, hassling him. King. Searching for this potential winner, Sydney FC. Long time to go, though, in this one. Just short of 20 minutes, you feel. Time added on. Bratton, that's a lovely ball out to Grant. He'll rein it in. Good idea to Wood, who again just can't find the guile at the right time, but it gets to King, and that one zipped across. Latchman fortunately was in the right spot, because right behind him lurking was the big Brazilian.
Good pressure again from Sydney. Right side to left side. Right idea from Joel King. Just fizzing that one along the ground. Face of the goal. Latchman did well. Well, I'm not sure if he did well, but he was certainly well positioned.
Ninkovic. King. And apart from that opening 6 or 7 minutes of this half, this has been the pattern for the match. Sydney FC with the possession, the territory. Perth Glory in a deep block defending. Caceres, he can't quite find the flick on to bring in Ninkovic, and Perth can break. It's a well-timed ball and run. Castro to Otter. Keogh getting involved. Otter's continued his run forward there. He just couldn't twist in the way to bring him back in, Keogh, so they go back through Kilkenny and Castro and Kilkenny. It's like a law firm. Kilkenny. Malik. Castro. Danger. Oh, just wide. Redmayne. It was a dive for effect in the end, but Diogo Castro, you'd back him to get that on target 9 times out of 10.
Well, he hasn't found himself in that position all night. And Sydney very relieved to get away with it. Central. How often have we seen that bending in to the top corner?
The Palo Retre makes way for Alex Bumyohan, so Caceres will drop back. That's an indication of Steve Corica's knowledge that he just needs more creativity out there. With all due respect to Palo Retre, Alex Bumyohan can find that killer ball to break down the defence. That's not exactly a killer ball from Bratton. It might be for Perth Glory's sake. Castro can't link up with Kilkenny. Falls for Otter, though. Keogh. Castro. Got the quality in this area of the pitch. Keogh, his cross doesn't beat McGowan. I want to play out here, Sydney. Grant, good idea. Bumyohan, not many options. Just looks up and sees purple, but does it all himself and wriggles clear. And that's better defending. Big Daryl Latchman getting onto it. Continuing the run. Look out, the big tack. He's on the way through. Straight at Redmayne, though.
Oh, what a run from the big centre half. Nearly popped up with a finish as well. Smothered in the end from Sydney. And the crowd like that.
You wouldn't want to get in the way of Daryl Latchman with a big run-up. It wouldn't end well. Not sure if they played tackle bull rush where he grew up in Holland, but probably not part of the Ajax curriculum where he learned his football, but he's an imposing figure, and that was his first burst forward this evening. Babo.
Well, to be honest, Adam, I don't think there's many places in the world where the people grew up playing tackle bull rush.
Apart from Australia. Ninkovic, his left foot cross. Latchman's in the way. Falls to Castro. Bit of space here for Perth to break into. Keogh is fouled by Ryan Grant, who goes into the book.
Well, I thought he got the ball, to be fair.
So did he.
I thought he was quick onto it. Let's have another look. Got a toe there. And it's a soft yellow card.
It's not a good one, though, because he'll miss the game against Adelaide with that one. An opportunity for maybe young Callum Talbot to get a start, or Hello Retro in the next game against Adelaide. That's of little concern right now for Sydney FC, because Perth, a couple of little signs, Robbie, in the last couple of minutes that could snatch.
Yeah, they're well capable. We saw first half what they can do. With Castro and Fornaroli and Keogh on there now, you'd fancy they're going to make another chance.
He might be right now. Castro just has a go with the left. Keogh looked offside. He slots home. He celebrates. But he has to stop because the flag's up.
Well, this looks like an obvious one, but dare you say anything?
Yeah. Ali Reza Faghani's just saying, wait, don't take a free kick, but that's a long way off. Now, it was an attempted block. If the player was a little further away and tried to play at it and shanked it, and Keogh was offside in that position, it wouldn't have been offside. That's the new interpretation that's come in.
All right, there we go. I told you, annoying.
There's only been 200 changes in the last 5 years to interpretations and wordings in the rule book, thanks to David Ellery and IFAB. Still waiting. Thank you. Never quite sure these days. Wilkinson, game in the line here. Sydney FC looking to go fourth. Perth Glory looking to keep pace. Anyone's game at the moment, because Perth, they've just created these little openings in the past 5 minutes. Sydney have had a glut of possession and big chances, especially in the first half. Liam Reddy's been important in this second as well. King, a lot of time to get the crossover to Pomyohan, and he was hassled by Otter. Back from Grant, attacking it is Bobo.
Good defending.
Aspro
with a very good header.
Side to side, cross to cross for Sydney. Ninkovic gets it up to Bobo, and if it was anything on it, it would have had Liam Reddy in desperate trouble.
A clever ball from Ninkovic. Bobo got across and couldn't get contact.
There is the live ladder. Wellington's big win tonight has set them up. This result wouldn't send Sydney anywhere. To close the gap slightly with games in hand on Macarthur, Western Sydney and Central Coast Mariners. It's a tight competition. Such a good A-League this season. And so much more to come in the second half of it. And in the last 10 minutes here at HBF Park on a Wednesday evening. Aspro. Looking not to play a bounce pass with a midfielder, going out to Rawlins and Castro. Deep, and the link up. Rawlins, lovely ball from Fornaroli, back to Castro. Didn't quite work out that time, but positive signs for Perth. Malik just barged into Ninkovic, went straight through him. Or was it Caceres? No, Ninkovic. The innocent look of... What's wrong with that? Kilkenny assessing his options. Couldn't find one forward, so goes back to Malik. Rawlins, Aspro. Good ball from Malik, finding Fornaroli. Caceres helps out. Wilkinson dives in. Trying to get rid of it here. Sydney can't quite.
Ingham, that was straight into King. He kicked it straight into Caceres. Looking for the handball, but I think the proximity to Ingham and King right there was the determining factor in no handball. Ninkovic looking to play out. Burst of energy here from Perth defensively.
Yeah, good pressing there, but Sydney managing to keep it alive.
Carlo Armiento about to come on. Bumjohan spins out of a challenge, does well, finds Caceres, who can't quite find that ball to Ninkovic, so he goes left and further left. Babo's out there, quick ball from the Brazilian corner. Won't be made that change from a set piece. And corner duties have gone from Bratton to Bumjohan. Movement in the box, looks Reddy's ball and is. Double sub. Callum Timmins about to come on as well, young midfielder. Lutchman goes out to Aspro. Aussie Malik. Break a couple of lines with some of these passes late in this game. Malik going all the way up to Fornaroli, and they can play off that, Perth. Ingham. Early ball, no, from Rawlins. Looks to go back to Kilkenny. Trying to flick it over Kilkenny. Loves those little dome dinks into the box. It's fallen to Rawlins in the box. Castro just couldn't get his feet right. Front foot defending from Malik. Getting the ball back. Castro again dwells on it. Bratton cops a little bump from Keogh, but hangs on to it this time, linking up with Bumjohan. Doesn't get through Otter. Bratton coughing it up. Perth winning it back. Castro. Crowd sensing something here at HBF. Malik. Again. Pings one into the striker. Keogh tangling up with McGowan, so it's Sydney hanging on at the moment.
That's good pressure from Perth.
A lot of pressure. Credit to their fitness staff. They're running out a game like this in the fashion that they are, but this time it's out to King. So a bit of a reliever here for Sydney. They can go forward. Caceres. Bratton. Grant in a bit of space. Time to assess his options. He goes across the ground to Bumjohan. Wood didn't quite read what Bumjohan was doing there. And these two substitutions will happen now for Perth Glory. Carlo Armiento, wicked left foot. He's got, he won't need to be asked twice on top of the box there if he gets a bit of space on that left foot. And Callum Timmins, who actually mentioned before that 6-0 drubbing that Perth copped all those years ago, he actually made his debut on that occasion as a substitute. How's that coming on in a game like that? But slightly more desirable situation he finds himself thrust into here. The couple of minutes left and the game on the line. Aussie Malik, his night is done. His first start of the season. Timmins is on for him. And Armiento coming on for Rawlins, so that means Dane Ingham will go back to right back. Good night for the 16-year-old again. He wouldn't know that he's 16, and Rosa Magoni's just come over to someone on the Perth bench, I think. And
Richard Garcia, I think.
Was it Garcia or Stephen McGarry?
Oh, that was one of them.
Hey, someone. Bumjohan winning the ball back. over the back, and Ninkovic was late to the scene. Ingham was there. Fornaroli wins a foul.
Great ball in from your hand, and no one sensing that ball, and rather flat-footed, and Perth were able to clear it. And there's a lot of fresh legs out there for the last few minutes. Well, you'd think there'd be 5 or 6.
Was Steve McGarry passing on a little bit of instruction to the referee that the referee didn't take too kindly to? Aspro as well, and sends it to the freshman Timmins. Otter. Fornaroli uses his body so well and gets past Grant. Oh, is it another one for Ryan Grant? No. Just thinking possibly a yellow card for Ryan. He's missing the next game anyway, but he didn't want to miss the last couple of minutes here. Fornaroli was asking for it. There was no shirt grab. In fact, it was the other way, but Fornaroli just positioned his body that well. More importantly for Perth, it's a good position for a free kick. Kilkenny out to Ingham. Loops it over Grant and Castro. Not exactly the target man you're looking for if you're Perth Glory. Diego Castro up front, but they get a corner. Who's got the winner in them? We're into time added on. Kilkenny. His corner doesn't get over Grant. Miento's header goes back in, and then it comes back out straight away. Aspro finds Armiento. He's going to come back on his left. And Ninkovic was aware.
Perth will gain the ball. They just want to keep the ball down there, keep Sydney under pressure in these last few minutes. And you're right, can someone find that little bit of quality? Or maybe a lucky bounce in the box?
Ingham, fresh feet. Timmins. Armiento. A lot of bodies in a small amount of space over there. Timmins is tripped up, but in the end it coughs out to Kilkenny and Latchman. Can't quite move it quick enough to the left. Latchman looking to find Otter. That's a beautiful looking cross. No one on the end of it. Armiento is going to hunt it down.
Yeah, just injected himself into the midfield, Latchman. And what a brilliant pass to Otter. And like you said, quality ball. And no one attacking it.
Can he find another? Otter does get it past the first man, but it's too deep, and Redmayne claims. Solid as a rock tonight, Andrew Redmayne. Not a lot he could do about the goal that Perth Glory scored. Fornaroli's onside here. Keogh smartly let it go. Oh, he's looking for that far post. Fornaroli gets another crack. Gets another crack. Bruno Fornaroli. It squeezes just past after a deflection. That was the moment, perhaps, for Perth.
Amazing drama. Fornaroli, Keogh cleverly allows that to go, and Keogh ran as well, and he had that option, but he goes for the shot. Wilkinson blocks it, and he's just shifting it, looking for that half a yard and the deflection, and agonisingly past the far post.
Kilkenny's corner is a good one. Redmayne not overly convincing with the punch, but it allows him to catch it. And pressure relieved for Sydney. Caceres, can they find one last chance? Sydney FC over the top for Paddy Wood, who didn't quite read what Caceres was going to do. Back it goes to Reddy, so Perth perhaps one last crack. We'll have to be quick. About 30 seconds left by our judgment. Maybe a bit more. Discretion of the referee. Here's Castro. Out to Ingham. Oh, looking for Armiento, but King read it so well. Ninkovic just bombs it forward to Babot. Dying seconds here at HBF Park. Timmins, crowd asking for it to go forward, but that is the end of it for Perth Glory and Sydney FC. Entertaining game again in the A-League. In the end, though, we can't find a winner. A point apiece, a goal apiece at HBF Park. Bruno Fornaroli again on the score sheet on the home ground of Perth Glory. 9 straight games he scored at HBF. Babot scores again against Perth, but his perfect record against Glory is broken. It's 7 wins from 8 because this one's a draw. Full time in the West. Perth Glory 1, Sydney FC 1. Another enjoyable night of football.
Yeah, like
Robbie.
I said, it was entertaining and dramatic at times. And that last Bruno Fornaroli entry into the Sydney FC penalty box, and the big deflection could quite easily have spun into that empty net, but wasn't to be. And you know, Sydney dominated large parts of this game, particularly the first half. And if they had probably got if they had got the goals that where their finishing let them down, they would have won this game. But Perth got better in the second half, no doubt about that, kept themselves right in the contest. So a draw, when you look at it, probably a fair result.
Yeah, so Perth, after that result earlier where Wellington smacked Melbourne victory, they are down to